exactly what I thought it would be. I got my house on a little piece of land. This is the place I'm gonna take my stand. But I keep living on dreams. One thing I know, that's the way it's gotta be. Am I living the
Well, there's a good old boy down in Texas, John Renewal, that's his name. Heard him talk about our country, Lord, I feel just the same. He speaks his mind, trying to help mankind and the people of the USA. Yeah, oh, John Renewal, he got a lot to say. Oh yes, he does. 'Cause there's a good old boy down in Texas, turning Texas blue. And there's a blue dot family in the USA. And all over there's a world. Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a blue dot family.
How y'all doing, baby? It is Sunday, baby. It's time for a Blue Dot family meeting, and I have missed y'all, baby. I am so tickled to be here, and let me get my shit together here. First off, I want to point out, you noticed the song, American Dream. We started out with our usual song that we've been playing, and then we faded it out and played the new Blue Dot song by John Lawrence out of Florida, who I had an amazing conversation with this weekend. I am so happy to talk to him. We're going to get him on the air. I keep looking up there hoping he's going to pop right up and get in the conversation with him. He's a wonderful guy, and I can't thank him enough. The old song, we didn't play it because they had that line in there that just wasn't appropriate for the time right now. And so John went into his studio and re-recorded new lyrics for that song, and I cannot thank him enough. I just can't wait to get him here on the air and have conversations with him, because he's a great guy. And anyway, I am tickled to death to be back, and the first one to jump in the room was Amanda Elliott, followed by Richard Phillips, Michael James. Good to see you, brother. Sherry Puckett's here. The remixtress is with us. Stephanie, Dean, and Jay are on vacation. Is that what you call it? Sure. Okay, we'll go with vacation. Dorothy Tyndall over here. Randy Peterson. Woo! Piggy's back in Arkansas. See, things are getting better already. Jimmy Swanson's here. Terry Montgomery, thank you, baby. The Feral Female Society is amongst our midst. Dina Michaels here. Robin Lyons. Mark Perkins. We're going to get to you in just a second, brother. Aaron Tromley, thank you for being here, and happy Easter to you. Happy Ramadan and happy Passover to all our Blue Dots and to everybody else around the world. Charles Stokler is here all the way from Bensalem, Pennsylvania. Curtis Wood, Jeff Curry, oh shit, Tracy Tobias, my next door neighbor. They're having a barbecue over there next door. Gene Prim is here. Donald Ware, Dizzy Duke, man, the whole Insane Tuna is here. Gene Shanky, Virginia Woodley, George Murray, how you doing, brother? BW. Let me see, Nancy Halverson is here. Jerry Wallace, always a pleasure to see your ass, buddy. Been around in a long time. Let me see. Amanda Elliott, Richard Phillips. Let me jump on down here. Bruce Preston is here. Let me get down here or I'll just get lost. Okay. There went Larry Scott and Martha Oliveira's here. Nita Parker, Spotman. How y'all doing? I missed y'all. Get all the shit out the way. Yes, I had an episode, medical episode. You know how it is. Gave you a whole bunch of new medicine and I'm going to run a bunch of tests there trying to figure out what the hell's wrong with you. And as I said in my video earlier, you just ask my wife. She'll have a list of shit that might be wrong with me. Anyway, I am glad to be back and had a little time to reflect over the last week. It was last Beer and Bud Friday that things started happening. And you know, so I've had a week to kick back and reflect on a lot of things, and I don't know where to start here. I'm a little behind here on my shit I got to do. I want to read a few things, and I don't know in what order I want to read them. Okay, well, let's start with this. Hey, I got mail. Always good to start with mail. I got mail. I got an Easter card from Mary and Bobby Pecker from Brandon, Wisconsin, and thank you very much. And it says, you know, Blue Dot Strong, vote blue, stay strong, and loves and hugs, and back at you, Bobby and Mary. Thank you very much. I appreciate your I get cards from them. And then I also got from Paulette Hallbeck in Plano, Illinois. I got my monthly subscription to Funny Times, which I treasure. This goes right into the reading library and is filled with fun facts, information, jokes, comics, writings. I enjoy it so much. And so thank you. Thank you for that. Anyway, I got one more. And I got a letter and a package. A letter and a package from Mark Perkins, baby. Our own Mark Perkins sent me a box of, get it? No, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Got it right here. Legos. I got Legos. And there's a reason for that. We're going to build a future out of that. But that's not all he sent. Mark, a long time ago, 2 years ago, I think, he sent me a letter. A letter that I did not receive. It had some important things in that letter, and Mark over the several has recovered. Well, not the letter itself; it disappeared. But in it, he wrote to me, and there were some writings that he wrote. Now I'm going to read one, and I want you to remember, this is 2 years old, 2 years. So the subject matter was relevant then, but I believe ever so much that it is relevant today. 2 years ago, Mark Perkins wrote, "He turned three into two, then became the one. Our people he divided, one nation undone. The Constitution he shreds, the rule of law he ignores. Our freedoms are in peril like never before. He fans the flames and makes the fires have hate, stoking the fires of hate. He thinks he alone should decide others' fate. He doesn't respect others, has no respect for himself. He only believes in stealing and lying about wealth. The Republican Party supports his lies and deceit. Moscow Mitch and his friends deserve to be beat. His family and friends, they're all in it too. His supporters don't realize all the damage they'll do. He's been lied to and told he has ultimate power. He thinks so much highly with each passing hour. Don't believe what you hear. Don't believe what you see. His supporters believe him, but he can't fool me. He will never admit that he is a mistake. Don't believe what they tell you. The news is all fake. He shows passion for Vlad and love for dictators, and those who disapprove, he calls them all haters. It's sad that so many have fallen for his lies. If only they would open their fog-shrouded eyes. Then they may see the anguish that he's caused, all of the sadness and hate and lives daily lost. The pandemic, he said, really isn't real. 2,600 dead so far. But what's the big deal? He always has done so much good for our nation. Can you hear all the gasps? Can you feel the frustration? The lies that he tells, the conspiracies he creates, we must stop this man now, before it's too late. Spoken true then, and still true now. That's the point that I'm trying to make, is his words written 2 years ago are no less more important than right now. And Mark, thank you. Let me get my eyeballs back on here. Thank you very much, brother. Those are well. He wrote 2 of them. We're going to do. Yeah, he told me not to read, but anyway, what does he know? It's my show. I get to read it anyway. Mark. Thank you so much for that insight. And like I said, it's still true, and it's something that we have to work on. I'm going to ease back into this show, and but before I do, I'm going to I wrote a little something myself. I put it on Facebook. I've shared it in our Discord group, and I've told y'all before, I write better than I speak. So bear with me since we're reading stuff, please. And I'll read what I wrote because this comes from my heart. And lately that has been a subject around my house. Go figure. Everybody's got one. It says, with age comes wisdom. That's what they say. I'm not sure about wisdom. I still see a lot of old stupid people. Some would argue that I'm one of them. I tend to think it depends on what you do with the information and lessons that you learned along the way. We try to use them to better ourselves and to provide for those we care about, to provide the best we can for them. For the most part, for most of us, we spent the better part of our lives repeating that process to the best of our ability. Some really excelled at this and have reached amazing heights. But for most of us, it was a struggle, but we found our place in life. Indeed, if we are lucky enough to have a long path to look back upon, we can see the bigger picture of our lives in retrospect and compared to the history that we have lived. Where we were and who we were when history was made. I like to think that this is where the wisdom part comes in, trying to figure out how things could have been better for ourselves and our society as a whole. Well, guess what? If you're reading this, and I am, this journey isn't over and the work isn't done. Well, maybe all that physical stuff, but the opportunity to make a better future for all, just as those who have forged the future that we live in now have done for us, is still a noble cause. Let's face it, most of us will not end up in a mansion with wealth beyond dreams, but we can work towards making the life better and raise the standard of living for the majority in our society who are yet to come. I like to think, in a small way, it is the work I have decided to pursue, and I want to thank you all for being on this journey with me. I don't know how much of an impact my voice, your voice, anybody's voice makes in the world. But I know what the cost of silence is. So whether I do it right, whether any of us that use our social media platforms to try to spread our message, none of us are perfect. No, most of us are just winging this shit. But our hearts are in this country. Our hearts are in the society that we live in. We don't want to grab the golden ring and take everything for ourselves. We want to make the society fair and even for everybody fair and balanced. I almost said that shit. I was about to slap myself. Anyway. But yeah. Not only a better society for all of us. I lost my train of thought. Anyway. There's shit going on, and we have to deal with it. And we can't lay our eyes off the ball. And I don't know, Mitch, save me, buddy. I'm just sitting here treading water now. You know, I got shit here written down in front of me, but I can get to it in a little bit. Brother, how are you? Mitch, are you with me? Uh-oh.
Hang on.
Hang on. Are we not? Yes, we're connected. Okay.
This computer turned off.
Uh-huh.
No, that's
So,
working.
That's working. Everything's working. I don't see Mitch lighting up. Like,
I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yep.
see it.
Oh, well, because John didn't hit the
Yes,
button.
no?
See? There's a button I'm supposed to hit. I didn't hit the button, so there you go. Because
Like
everybody's training me not to touch the buttons. There you go. We have a mistake because I didn't hear. Mitch, how are you, brother?
Hear me now?
Oh, yes. Yeah,
right.
yeah, I just looked over the other screen, Mitch. Damn, buddy. Thank you.
Well, dude, man, you gotta learn how to ask for money in a nice way.
I got to learn that, I guess, a lot.
Because I'll tell you why. Because you could do it the way I do it, which is make people feel guilty for not donating to the show. and
No,
coming here all the
I
time.
can't do that. I can't do that, Mitch. Thank you for saying that.
You don't have to. That's what you got me for, buddy.
He's not
But-
Jewish.
Yeah, he's not
Do I hear
Jewish.
Julie back there?
Yeah.
Hi, Julie.
Darling, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, dear. I'm doing better every day, as a matter of fact. Good news, my leg quit tingling. There's a good sign right there. All that tingling shit on my side there is gone.
How's it win?
So, you know, I'm lucky.
Yeah, well, you know what happens, man. That shit starts tingling, and 5 minutes later, just fucking falls off, just like that.
Hey. Some things you prefer to tingle that don't fall off. Let me thank you, Mitch and Julie. Thank you, because you just came in. They just came in with a $30 donation and said, you
Dude, yeah. Is anybody else going to donate?
you Blue Dots need to donate to this show and keep it alive. One Sunday there will be silence if we do not keep this show funded. Please buy merch and donate here with PayPal. Mitch, thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Y'all know me. I've made it a habit. I appreciate every donation that is made to this show. I've never asked for them because that's, people are so moved to do so. They are so moved to do so. And, I just try to remind them, where else are you going to find such fine entertainment as, anyway. Mitch, I'm so glad, glad you're here, brother. I'm glad to see a whole lot of familiar
Glad to be
faces.
here, man. The last 2 weeks were pretty much a living hell.
What's up with you? Shit. Oh, that's right. Never mind. Never mind.
Oh my God.
Never
We went
mind.
on our cruise,
That's her.
and the day after
the day
after we came back, I got sick, and that was it. Everybody came down like bowling pins. It was
Yes.
great.
Yes. Uh-oh.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
So we got a nice $9.99.
Yes, let me
donation
catch that. I'm
from
sorry.
Lowe's.
My wife just came to the door, and she never does that. Travis had to leave for something. And all of a sudden, John's sitting here staring at the door going, hey, what's going on? Dolores Grant
and if
came
you
in.
can't-
Huh? I'm sorry.
I'm saying, if you don't have money to donate, we get it. But if you do and you're not donating, well,
I
whole other
appreciate that. I do. It's we expected a slowdown after the election and all that, and we did. But this family has always
but
come
we
through
have-
for us.
we-
So
We've got a lot of hot button issues to
Yeah.
discuss.
yeah,
It's
we
not
do.
done.
Let me catch up here because y'all came. Dolores Grant came in with a $10 donation and said, "Happy you are doing better, John." Thank you very much, Dolores. I appreciate it, and I am indeed doing better. Frank Percy came in with a $10 donation to Super Chat. Woo! Slow my ass down here. That's what I've been told to do. Thank you, Frank. I appreciate it tremendously. And Sheila Y. Loves Sunsets just came in with a $5 and said what Mitch said. Thank you all so much. I do appreciate it tremendously. Yeah. It's my job nowadays. Anyway, that's what I'm reminded all the time. Anyway, now I'm sitting here wondering what's going on outside that Marcia had to come to that door and call Travis in for. But I don't hear any screaming. I don't hear any yelling. So, but we have a lot of people on the street today. So, a little concern going on, I guess. It's Easter though. You should be all nice and happy, But yeah, we got parties going on both sides of us right now. So, walked out the door a minute ago and bang, 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 bang. Right on cue. Go figure. Shit. Anyway.
I heard you guys are having an election for governor in Texas.
We are indeed. And Lord have mercy, is there one person Texas needs to get rid of? It's Greg Abbott.
Lord, where did you find that gobshite?
Oh God, under a
Some
rock.
sort of imbecile.
Under a rock. I've always said that the Republicans, they are more than willing to hurt this country and hurt the people in this country, so they can point at it and look and say, look how bad things are here. Y'all need to elect us, and that's the same shit.
You have summarized the entire policy of the Republican Party in one sentence.
It is.
To get into government for the purpose of sabotaging
Doing a terrible job.
And then pointing fingers at it and say, see, government doesn't work.
Yeah. Intentionally.
To be honest,
Go ahead.
Republicans have cornered the market on bad behavior. We have a Senate race going on here.
Right.
And one of the Democratic candidates is far ahead of the other Democrat. I'll just say John Fetterman,
we love
is
John
kicking
Fetterman.
Connor Lamb's ass.
Okay.
Connor Lamb is not a bad guy.
He isn't.
But
I like him. He came to our house.
Yeah, Fetterman is beating his ass. He's gonna win.
Outstanding.
And now Connor Lamb's people are trying to figure out a way to bring Fetterman down. Instead of being happy, we have a candidate who's immensely popular. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
And he's going to be running against the Trump-backed candidate, quote unquote, Dr. Oz, who is a snake oil millionaire, lives in fucking 3 mansions.
Lives in New Jersey.
That's Lamb.
New Jersey, don't even fucking live here.
Yeah.
Hey,
no houses in Pennsylvania.
But yet he represents
Guarantee, big fan. Oh, hey, if you really love John Fetterman, then you also would love John Bridebo, and you would be happy to pony up some money.
Oh, come on, Mitch, stop that, really. Because All Right Now came in with $5 donations, said, glad you're back. I'm Sheila Warren, changed my, maybe I should have said, All Right Now came in with a $5 donation. No, I guess so. Glad you're back. And I'm Sheila Warren, changed my username. Well, Sheila, thank you very much, baby. Now I got to put that in my head. And she came back with another donation and said $5 donation. Said no, it's the same one. It doubled up. It's doing that thing again.
Where it doubles.
Yeah, it doubles.
Dr. Oz
is
a quack. He is a charlatan.
That's to say it mildly.
Yeah, really. He's a con artist.
I believe he is a doctor.
And let me tell you who else is a con artist. Elon Musk. I don't like Elon Musk.
He's trying. No, if he took over Twitter, you know what he's going to do. It's all about free speech. He's going to put Donnie right back on there because business. It's good for business.
It's 3/4 dead now anyway. There's got to be something better.
I gotta be honest. I didn't mind Donnie on the Twitter. At least you knew what he was up to.
Really. I try to stay on Twitter. I don't do Twitter that much, but we post our videos on there, and I occasionally tweet something. I should do more. Travis is always trying to tell me to do more. All 3 of his hellish children are on. Actually, we haven't seen Barron. I'm sure he's going to slither on the scene.
Is it their fault? I mean, look at what they had as an example.
There you go.
Oof. Sorry, man.
Yeah, no. This is what I was talking about earlier. Is we have to be bold in what we're going to do. We're going to, because every time I turn on the freaking news, I'm hearing some bullshit about, it doesn't look good for the Democrats in the midterm. It looks like the Republicans are going to take the Senate and the House and blah, blah, blah. If they do that, baby, then hell's going to break loose. And who do you think is going to come back? Who do you think the Republican Party?
We have to remoderate the entire judiciary, and I can tell you, it's going to take longer than your lifetime and my lifetime and maybe my children's lifetime to unfuck what George W. Bush and Donald J. Trump did to America. And Ronald
out
Reagan
of your mouth.
And Poppy Bush too. All 4 of them.
To me, it changed
more to the destruction of freedom in this country than
any
enemy ever.
Mitch, it started with Reagan. Reagan was a good actor, baby. He could sell the shit to this country, and he did. He sold them a big pile of shit and told them it smelled like roses. Trickle down economics,
still
baby.
Believe it, too.
Yes. Some of them, still hang on to that theory. Well, if you just give enough money to the rich people, you'll do better. No, that's not the way it works.
Bullshit.
It is bullshit.
It's not the way it works.
You see the result of that in Russia right now. Oligarchs, baby. How many
The
big?
result of it in America right now.
Yeah,
And
you don't have to look
so
far.
many billionaires and so many
Indeed.
people in poverty. How does that work
Indeed.
exactly?
Yeah, yeah. It seems like the idea of the betterment of all went by the wayside. Went in my book when Reagan came in with the trickle down economics, and we got to you do his. I can't. Anyway, when he came in,
Elon Musk doesn't have any ideas. Elon Musk buys ideas.
Has money.
Elon Musk steals ideas. He is not an original
he capitalizes
thinker. He's
on that.
proven to be a disingenuous, mendacious liar.
He's not, he's a wealthy man. That's the only thing you could really give him. He's made great
Donald
investment.
Trump.
He's made some big ass money. But do I want to trust
Donald
him?
Trump with a 30,000 word vocabulary.
There you
No,
go.
Elon
Yeah.
Musk comes from a wealthy family. His family's loaded.
I did not know
He
that.
started with money.
Yeah, he started.
He
He
started.
He
started
didn't
off.
build this from the ground up.
No, but he's built an empire. You got to give him that much. He's built a lot of money up.
How hard is it when you've already got
But
money?
again, when if you start out with other people's money, it's a whole lot freaking easier.
Here you go.
Yeah, how come I didn't get to
I
do
didn't
that?
get that. Was there a window I missed that
man.
when we was checking in? Where pick up your pile of cash? Let me send out a couple more thank yous. Johnny Fly came in with a $5 donation and said, "Hey, so great to have you back. Take care of yourself and get rid of Greg Abbott." I'm glad everybody's on Greg Abbott. And Johnny Fly, thank you. And Catman 56 came in with a $5 donation and said, "Wonderful writing early in the show. Well said and true." Thank you, Catman.
Elon Musk did not start PayPal. That is a urban legend. That is a lie.
That's a lie.
He did not start PayPal. Sorry.
Wait a minute. No, I just had a thought.
Facts matter.
Oh, about Greg Abbott. I'm glad a lot of people are paying attention to this, and I think might be part of it why is because of the uproar in the story that broke about the border down here in Texas that Greg Abbott ordered months ago, a 100% inspection on trucks entering the United States from Mexico, and what that has done to the supply chain. There's a lot of things that impacted the pandemic has a lot to do with it, but when my state governor is making a concerted effort to slow down the supply chain, again, being a Republican,
Blame it on
so he
somebody
can
else.
point at it and go, look how terrible the economy is doing, the supply, you can't get what you want, and blah, blah, blah. That, in a nutshell, is Greg Abbott. There is nothing the man does that is plotted and planned for some stunt. He put migrants on buses and sent them up to Washington, D.C. Really? They've already been cleared, asshole. You just gave them a ride. You wanted publicity. That's it. It's a dog and pony show, and that's what it's been ever since Reagan came in. It's a dog and pony show for the Republican
It was like
Party.
that
There's
before
nothing-
Reagan. The difference is before Reagan, politicians assumed that they would have to say things that were truthful and they would have to be, ingenuous.
Right.
Think about it. Right up, all the presidents, they all come from military families, from wealthy families. They're used to being in the limelight. Reagan had absolutely no political skills whatsoever.
No,
His
he was
only
an
skill was
actor.
pretending. His only skill was faking sincerity. That was Ronald Reagan's only skill.
He could stand
sincerity.
up there and give the old Gipper speech, with feeling and meaning, because that's what he was. That's what he did.
Oh, well,
He did.
not a big fan, John.
I'm telling you. Well, we have evolved. A big fan of who?
I remember that when Ronald Reagan beat Jimmy Carter in 1980 in November, and
I
then
do.
John Lennon was killed 4 weeks later.
Yeah.
That was a pretty bad 1-2 punch for the world.
Yes. Yeah.
And
I
this
remember
country
that.
for the last 40 years has been going in just circles of destruction. We've
not
completely
progressed
lost our
as well as we should have by this point. There's no
We're
doubt.
about 40 years behind every other country in
Look at what
healthcare,
we're dealing with in the news right now.
transportation,
The
energy.
shootings up there in New York in the subway, and there have been several more since. Several other.
Yeah, one this morning in Pittsburgh.
Not a problem. We have them every day. Pop them out like popcorn. Not a problem. And yet H.R. 8
Half a
is still
billion
sitting
guns.
in the
What could
Senate.
possibly go wrong?
Who has
What
the
could go
power in
wrong?
this country?
Yeah.
Is it the American people? Or is it, I don't know, the NRA or something, the National Russian Alliance over there? You know, it's the power, that lobby money. That speaks a whole lot louder than your words until their money speaks louder than you until we band together. Until your voices get loud enough, until you get into one freaking song. And then that's when the power comes, baby. That's what we have to work on. That's what we have to remind people every freaking day. Is we will lose in November if we don't get our ass out there. In the midterms, everybody knows this shit goes downhill. Nobody's, I got things to do. I'm going to go vacation. You know, I'm tired of the pandemic. I'll do it next year. Well, I ain't no next year. It's a year after that, maybe. But if we don't take care of shit now, then I can only imagine what we're going to look at with a Republican Senate and a Republican House. Where do you think it's going to go, Mitch, if they get control?
I think we're going to squeak it out and weak it out, just like we've been doing.
Well, January 6th committee will be disbanded. That will be no more. And, you know, that's one thing. I'm so ready for some public hearings now. Easter's over. Okay, we celebrated a nice religious holiday here. Passover's over. You know, everything's, Ramadan's gone. Now let's settle down and get into business. Because that's what has to happen. These things have to be public. There has to be an outrage over
is
what.
Greg Abbott using his legal authority to interrupt the supply of food and materials into
To his own
his own state? Is this my imagination?
Ain't that some sad shit? Ain't that some sad shit? There's no, you know, if it.
Explain to me why people are not marching on Austin.
Tell me why.
Explain to me.
Because their life. That's what we have to remind ourselves, you know, that you know, every day, every one of us has to struggle through what we got to pay the bills or what we're going to do, you got to do this, that, or the other. There's things, you know, people are in the hospital. We got people sick in this family right now. So, yeah, there's a lot that goes on. So it's not that we're asking you to get up and beat the drum right now, go outside and scream on your balcony. But we're asking you to remind yourself at the appropriate times the importance of our voice, our combined voice, more importantly, our combined vote. If we don't get people out in this midterm and the Republicans take over, it's going to turn into a shit show, and we will be nothing but bystanders.
It's already a shit show.
It's already, but we, you know,
I can tell you, you know, the Democrats have basically lost the inside game.
They shouldn't know, because we have gains that we've made. We've made progress.
They didn't have,
you know.
But they lost in places and now you're starting to see Roe v. Wade is going to start to crumble.
It is under challenge by a lot of states.
It will survive another court challenge.
Seems like it's the thing to do nowadays in the Republican states, is attack Roe v. Wade.
Oh, very fashionable.
You know, and state by state they do that. But
you know something, I'm half tempted to say, you know, just fucking make it illegal already. What would these people have to talk about?
Well, we'll be talking about another subject. The death of some poor girl who had to go in some makeshift hospital or hotel room for a make-do coat hanger deal. I don't know. I'm sure they've improved the method now, but if it's not regulated, it's not safe.
About that.
Yeah. They don't
care about that life.
The only life they give a shit is the unborn life. Once that baby is born, takes a breath, they could give two shits about it. Get in line with the rest of the poor people, you little shit. That's what they'll tell him. There's no compassionate help on the other side.
Way to rack them up on Easter, Brito. Just keep going. I like the way you're going.
I'm just, you know, like I said, you know, and I did. I had an event. I had a scary fucking event. You know, like, holy shit, I'm gonna fucking die. I didn't. But it you know, it's not that flashing life in front of your eyes bullshit. But when you're recuperating, when you're experiencing something like that, you do have a tendency to start looking at life not only backwards, you know, and like I say, where you were when you were. You know, how old were you and what you were doing when in my case, when Kennedy was assassinated or 9/11 or whatever major event in history that happened. We have a tendency to look back and say, well, shit, we could see where we were going, and now we see where we've ended up. And as a nation, we started out so great, but like so many other generations, I believe, you get to that point, during the 60s and 70s, it was all about the environment, and we're going to change the laws and equal rights and civil rights, and we fought. And then along the way, this generation, I believe, that I'm part of, you had to go to work because things were getting tough, and you had to make a freaking living, a dime, baby. That's what you had to go. You got to go feed the family. You got to put kids through school. You got to buy groceries, everything. And you pay attention to the news, but the news becomes secondary to what you're trying to get done on a daily basis. And it's no different now, really. We all have that life to live, but at times you have to stop and look at the big picture. That if we, I really do look at it as we are living the future that so many generations fought to give us, and we're not there yet. We have so far to go yet, and we're being attacked. We're getting setbacks, like Mitch just said. Roe v. Wade's under attack. Things that we thought were solid in this country are going to be under attack. There's a 6-3 Supreme Court, and I'm not too sure about a couple of them people on there being able to use judgment in the right way. No, I'm not confident in that. So we're left with this. What are we going to do about this shit? And the only thing I can say is, well, we got to get involved. We got to do something. We got to, and I really did. I don't want to take it. Huh?
I thought you were going to say, I think we should smoke some pot about it.
I think so.
I think we should smoke some pot about it.
I think so. So if you are so inclined, stuff that bud in the bed. This is nothing but Cavendish in here. It's just a prop here I used to make sure that it looks good. Anyway, let me catch up anyway. Here, let me see. Oh, Lord. Nita Parker came in with a $10 donation and said, how long can Abbott legally hold up the supply chain until we kick his ass out? Thank you very much, Nita Parker, and that's what we have to work on. Beto O'Rourke is closing, and the numbers are close. Abbott is ahead by like 1% or 2%. And the odds going, that's damn near even. That's a hell of a jump for Beto O'Rourke after what he said. And the assault that he's taken from the right, he has a damn good chance, and I hope to hell he gets it. I'm going to work my ass to make sure it happens. Nancy Halverson came in with a $5 donation and said, happy to hear you are back, John. Well, thank you very much, baby. I appreciate it. It's good to be back. Michael James came in with a $10 donation and said, John be resurrected on Easter. On Easter, a coincidence? LOL. Good to have you back, brother. Now that you mentioned it, I wasn't going to bring it out right now. I was going to think a little dramatic later on, but Michael, thank you very much. I appreciate that, brother. And Catman56 came back with another donation and said, the feeling is having reflections. Indeed. Indeed, Catman. You reflect upon your life. You reflect upon history itself. That's what I'm trying to say. Not only you look back on your life, but you look back on your life and notice that where you were during certain events in history, big things that really stood out in the nation's history, and where you were and what you were doing, and were you involved when you should have been involved. No, I wasn't. I wasn't. A lot of times, I didn't go to elections that many times. Presidential elections, yeah. Off season, nah, not so much. But I've changed. Nowadays, I consider it one of the most important things that we as citizens can do. I still think they ought to make it a national holiday. I think it ought to be a paid holiday if you vote. If you don't vote, well, it's just a day off and go enjoy yourself out doing fishing, whatever you want to go do. But if you don't vote, you don't get paid.
Half a day, Jesus.
Huh?
Take us halfway. Give us a half a day off.
Yeah, no, I want the whole freaking day because look how long they make some of them wait in line. Let's fix that shit too.
Yeah, vote by mail in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that's the assault on elections itself by the Republicans since the last election is dramatic. It's happened here in Texas. It's happened across the United States.
Dictated by Jimmy Carter and others 40 years ago.
Yes.
The assault on voting rights. keep in mind that the assault on voting rights began with a case in the Supreme Court that overturned part of the Voting Rights Act. And that's what started this whole avalanche of cases, because those states that were named, those 11 states that had shown a verifiable history of voter suppression.
This is on the states.
We're not allowed by federal law.
Right.
That's Jack coughing up his head.
Right.
They were not allowed to create laws like that. They had to be reviewed by the federal government.
They wouldn't be allowed to make laws like they've made now.
And all 11 of them have made it harder to vote. All 11 of them. Immediately.
How can you not recognize that, what they're doing? It is an assault on the voting rights, because, if here's the, I'm going to, again, forgive me, I'm going to read something here real quick, because it's my notes on what I was going to talk about. And top of the line up there says Liz Cheney. She made a statement that that the committee has compiled enough facts to refer Trump to the DOJ for criminal prosecution. So she's saying that crimes were committed. They have proof of the crimes, and they're crimes enough, high enough for that it should be referred to the Department of Justice for prosecution. And then a U.S. District Judge, David Carter, in court said a coup in search of a legal theory. That's what Donnie was doing. It was a coup in search of a legal theory. We've seen all these text messages back and forth. Several of them backed out, and said, "Hey, you got to quit this shit." But hell, right up front, they were in bed with this shit, ready to rock and roll. Let's get rid of the. They
took a chance. They knew what they were doing.
Yes, they knew what they were doing.
Also knew it was illegal. It is very clear that they knew they were breaking the law.
Yeah.
They are all lawyers.
Every one of them. It's not like they can say, "Oh, I didn't know." Yes. That's the key here. All these people, they're not stupid people. These are not crooks and backroom alley. These are educated people that know what they're doing.
Yeah, I have a friend who we were talking about some point of constitutional law, and I don't remember what it was, but I'm like, "Oh, wow, Marla, how did you know that?" Completely forgetting she's a lawyer. And she said, "I went to law school. That is first year law." One thing every person who went to law school knows is the Constitution.
It's one of the
backwards and forwards. It's the first thing you learn.
It's everything that your job entails. Your constitutional rights, especially when you're going into constitutional law. That should be the first thing. We all should learn that. We, the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, do our, the whole. You don't have to memorize the whole thing. But you ought to take a look at it. I keep a copy of it, and several Blue Dots have sent me copies. I've learned more in the last 5.5, 6 years, whatever it's been, about the Constitution, our laws, and I've learned so much in just these last few years. I'm ashamed of myself that I didn't know a lot of this stuff before. But that's what I mean. You get busy dealing with your life, and you get caught up in that so much that there's some major shit going on that we need to take care of.
Honestly, if you're anything like me, it never occurred to me that I would have to worry about stuff like this.
There you go. We didn't worry because we didn't think anybody would assault the Constitution, assault our own democracy, as we've seen Trump and now the Republican Party doing.
I never thought that I would be facing the anti-Masonic backlash that we have seen from the right-wing extremists. I never thought we would see the backlash again against Jewish people that we continue to see Asian
now.
People. Now, something, I'm not even sure why. Why are people angry at Asians? Do we have any insight?
They made up the coronavirus.
Yeah, Wuhan, all that stuff. That's who did it.
All of them.
All of them. If you're of Oriental descent, you're that guy. And that's
all 2.5 million people from Asia.
And isn't that so sad that our country is going in that is demonstrating that shit, considering how do I want to say? You know, the Republicans are real good about waving the flag and singing patriotic songs. Oh, they love it. Bumper stickers. We support the troops. I don't give a shit what it is. They'll put a fucking American flag on that side, on a rebel flag on that side. It doesn't matter. Good old boys, you know, all that shit. But it is.
That's your American flag pin showing what a patriot.
What a patriot you are. You got a flag pin? Oh hell, you know you're an American. No, that doesn't mean squat. It's a piece of cloth. It's an emblem that doesn't mean shit unless you make it worth a shit. And that's where the deal comes down.
Yeah. It means my parents fucked here.
No, it means you were born here.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Or you migrated here. Or, you know, the way we got here. The melting pot that we always talk about so proudly.
See, we don't talk about that.
No. Now we're trying to divide, you know? And that's what's so pitiful.
I'll never forget Ron Paul. The first time I saw Ron Paul, 1983, I guess it was.
Yeah.
And someone asked him, you know, how come it says on the Statue of Liberty that we're supposed to welcome people here, you know, people who are seeking freedom are supposed to come here, and people, you know, we tired, poor, yada, yada, you know, the whole,
give us your
the whole Statue of Liberty thing. And Ron Paul says, well, the Statue of Liberty, that poem by Emma Lazarus, is not the legal, you know, it's not part of the Constitution. It's just a poem.
It's just a poem
that some girl won a contest. It's not the law of the United States of America.
Yeah, pay no attention to that shit. Who gives a crap about that? You know, here in America, it's about get what you can get. Fuck your neighbor. You know, that's what it's turned into, and that's sad. You know, and nowhere have I seen it more evident than the street I live on.
Oh shit, man.
That has changed so much over the years that I've lived here. 15, 16, 17 years I've lived on this street. Things changed 5 years ago. Things changed. And that is sad. That is sad. You're, you know, right now, the Republican Party wants to back out of the presidential debate business. I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, that's just because they just look bad every time they debate.
It's that. They got nothing to talk about. They have nothing to sell. They have no idea. But here's the deal. They have to, because if the plan goes right, if the Republicans do take the House and the Senate, and boy, howdy shit, they get a good plan going, you know, get Donnie slipped back in here. Yeah. Guess what?
I think they even want him back.
I don't know how they could. Except for, I don't know, has he got compromise on all of them? I wouldn't think so. You know? Were they all in Russia pissing on him? I don't think so. There has to be. I have such faith that there are Republicans out there, good conservatives, that, you know, I don't know, maybe this Easter they'll have an epiphany and realize that if we don't work together, everything goes downhill in a freaking, you know, we're not asking them to join the drum circle. We're asking them to meet us at the table and deal in good faith and do things that help the people of the country and not so much just your ass. Prime example, Greg Abbott closing down the border so everybody will suffer so he can say, look how bad you're suffering. You know? It's self-fulfilling prophecy with the Republicans. They will make your life miserable and then point it out on the daily news on a daily basis. Look how terrible things are. Well, why don't you do something about it? Look at all these mass shootings. Joe Biden can't control the America. Hey, pass H.R. 8. It's in your freaking office. But we're not going to. That's what pisses me off. When I first heard of that shooting in that subway, that was my first thought. We're not going to do anything. This will be in the story for a few days. And we've seen more since. It's just a story. People got shot. People got killed. What's the big deal? What's the big deal? Are we that callous? Are we that blind that we can't see the problems in front of us? Can we not fix the things like that? The H.R. 8 just deals with closing loopholes. It deals with background checks. It's not designed to go out there and knock on your door and come get your gun.
Oh, God, no. Oh, my God. I just had this conversation with a friend of mine. She's like, you have sons. Aren't you worried they're going to reinstitute the draft? And I'm like, they will never, in a kabillion years reinstitute that draft. Do you want every mother's laser focus on what the government is doing?
No.
Nobody, dude, nobody wants that.
No.
Nobody. They cannot take that kind of pressure.
This country went
there would be a complete turnaround. They would have riots in the street. Women would leave their jobs, their cars, whatever they're doing, descend on Washington, D.C. like locusts
if you tried to implement the draft right now in the world situation right now,
boy,
talk about a red flag,
they don't want anybody
baby.
Looking so closely at what they're doing.
And we shouldn't have to do that. That's, here's my thought on that. No, I don't think anybody should be drafted into the military. Do I think there should be there should be an opportunity for public service? You come out of high school, and because we don't, give you college, because who needs college?
These little homeschool Republican snowflakes, they don't want to serve America.
No,
they want to be served.
No.
Yeah, they really think they're above. They do.
There's a large majority of Democrat-leaning individuals in our military. And for a lot of them, they might go in starting a little conservative. It's not long before you take a different outlook on life. And once you be in certain situations, you experience certain things, and you go through the world and crap, it changes your ass, and
right.
You see things that you remember your whole life, and
John,
yeah.
Let's let some peeps in, man.
All right, let's do that. Let me.
Talking away, you're running.
I know it. A good conversation, Mitch and Julie. I appreciate it tremendously. Let me thank Ardessa, also known as Purple Moon Dragon, came in with a $5 donation and said Florida rejects 41%, citing 41% of their books, citing critical race theory as the reason. Happy Easter and welcome back, John. Dan's about the same.
Yeah, that's 41% of their mathematics textbook.
If Dan's the same, that means Dan is feeling better, and I am glad to hear that. And she is right. 41% of the textbooks were rejected in the state of Florida because they had something in there about critical race theory. Are you shitting me? Banning books.
They were published by a company who publishes any books that support race theory.
We're slipping, I swear, going down a rabbit hole. And Ardessa came back with another $2 and said, math, you didn't have to do that. Math textbooks rejected. Math textbooks rejected. 41%. Can't have these books. We don't like what you're teaching our kids. Are you shitting me?
Hey, can you turn my mic on really quick?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to chime in really quick before I start letting people into the room. No, I just wanted to say really quick, for one, that was a really great conversation between you, Mitch, and Julie. I just want to say that was an enjoyable listen.
Thank you.
Tonight, no, I just wanted to start...
them?
Yeah, of course. You can't beat Mitch and Julie.
My favorite people.
Yeah, for real. No, I just wanted to say, before we start letting people in, we were trying something a little bit different tonight. What'd you lose?
My shit.
Oh.
I'm listening.
I mean, I lose my shit all the time, but you see me getting my shit together. That's a lie. If that was ever to say a lie, that's a fucking lie.
Wait a minute.
No, I was just gonna say we're gonna be trying new things with the show, not only for the live shows, but we're also gonna be trying new types of content. And it's going to be slowly coming out. If you notice, Dad actually just went on to TikTok.
I'm on TikTok, baby.
If anybody's into that, you can find him over there as a blue dot in Texas, so feel free to go search him up. But other than that, no. So, yeah, apologizes to everybody in the room. I just wanted to have one solid conversation between Dad and someone else for a little bit, because I might try to do something with that for other pieces of media. Right now we're in an experimental phase, so... we're trying new things, so I figured, nice solid conversation between Dad, Mitch, and Julie might be pretty good for some future content. I'm going to try to see what we can do with that. But now we're going to open the lines up to a few people.
Recorded.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody was aware of that. But anyway, so yeah, now I'm going to start opening the rooms up.
Really?
Oh, what was that?
We don't do TikTok.
Is that where we are now? TikTok? Oh, boy.
We're on TikTok, brother.
Yes. To be fair, Mitch,
I got to reach out, buddy.
Get this. It was Dad's idea.
Hey.
It wasn't mine. Because I told him, basically what I told him, like, Dad,
Here's what happened.
You're going to probably find people on there, but you're also going to get a lot of hate. It's just going to happen.
Here's the real story, the truth behind the... Anyway, seems that there's a TikTok craze going on in my house. Travis over there flipping at that. There's Tyler over there when he's home. Over there flipping through. There's my wife at that flippy. I don't do that a whole lot.
Oh, Florida.
Man, I'm telling you.
Scrotum hanging at the
but
bottom.
occasionally Marcia will, and she lightens my heart. She'll show me one about a dog or something like this, or, that's so cute. And I enjoy it. And for a few minutes. But then the other day, she turned around and she said, honey, you might like this guy. She hits this TikTok. And this old boy with a red T-shirt with a cowboy hat steps up there. And what happened? Oh, nothing. Getting a notification that doesn't mean anything. Anyway, she says, you might like this guy. This is dope. So I did. And I did not write down his name. Marcia did, and I'm going to look him up. He went on a rant. And the rant was, and he lived here in Texas, about Greg Abbott and the inspections that he ordered down on the border, thereby backing the border up for miles and miles and miles within Mexico. And the amount of time that it takes to cross that border, the amount of goods that are lost. You get a truck in there with fucking lettuce that's been sitting in fucking line for 6 days. Guess what? Maybe some of the lettuce ain't going to be so good when it gets there. It's that kind of shit. And he gave a good little speech. And Marcia said, well, you should put some of your shit on there. Well, my problem is my mouth. TikTok only allows you a little bit of snippet, as does Twitter. You're allowed, 140 characters or something like that. Anyway, I have a hard time when I start running my mouth to stop. And so that's always been my problem. But with the amazing help of my son, who can edit and get it down and get the basics right in there, then, yeah. Dwayne Drizzle says Beto's on TikTok, so, I'm trying to keep good. We're trying to do something because here's the deal, and it is the deal. The midterms are coming up. What do we got? 6 months, 7 months to get up here and pump the pom poms and get everybody motivated that we can to get whatever avenue that takes. If it gets me on TikTok, I'll put my bikini on and okay.
No.
Thank you.
No.
Hey, you don't know. It could be a thing. I could go big. Anyway, God, that's what.
You might, but not for the right reasons.
But no, that guy that I watched the other day, he did impact me. I said, well, he got a good message out, and looked around, he reached a whole lot of people. Good. That's the idea. If you can get that message out, no matter what venue you take, then let's do that. Because we don't have a lot of time. And take that any way you want, whether it's a lot of time between the next election and the next time I croak over dead. We don't know. We know about the election. All right? So let's work as much as we can with the time that we have left, because they keep talking about, Democrats are going to lose in the midterms. Every time they say that shit, my freaking blood pressure goes up. Yeah, I see a lot of laughs. John in the bikini could, you don't know. There could be like rippled muscle. You don't know. I'm wearing a shirt. You don't know. I could just. Shrunken head. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait, Mitch, please. I just recognized. Mitch, let me introduce you to somebody I had a great conversation with this weekend, and for everybody in our family, this is John Lawrence. John Lawrence, who wrote the music that you listen to, The American Dream, the Blue Dot song, and there are so many others, and we are going to start playing them because he's done some. John, how are you?
Well, I'm hanging in. Middle of a storm here, man. I got no power.
Holy shit!
So I did dump all this Discord crap on my phone. So it showed up. So I'm just following my phone around right now with the light on my phone. I don't know how long it's going to last, but I'll hang here for a while until it's, we got no power. I'm just sitting in the dark.
Boy, howdy shit. if that ain't
Yeah,
enough.
that's all right.
Well, I'm glad to see you got the Discord on the phone. Travis and I got on the phone with John and worked out all the bugs so we could make sure he could get in the room here.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know,
Make sure we're recording it in case something happens.
yeah.
Record again.
Oh yeah, I think he is recording.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's recording. Yeah, Travis is going to try to make things work for little snippets here and there, and try to use them wherever they might be appropriate. I don't know. He's the tech guy. He's the
That
tech
kind of
guy.
remind me of something I wanted to ask Travis about his expertise. It sounds to me like he's into the electronics and running equipment. And did you have a recording studio or any of that kind of stuff?
Just my desk in my room is pretty much my studio. But do I have equipment? Yeah. I used to when I was younger. It used to be the studio, and then I was like, "Who am I fucking kidding? It's just my desk. I'm not going to try to fool anybody." Yeah, I'm in the studio recording music. No, I'm not.
Well, y'all
I'm just
wanted
sitting
to
at my
make that
desk.
one little space into a studio.
That was a plan.
Like a closet.
Yeah.
So just the person creating the music or the singing would be in that closet.
Well,
Yeah.
what I'm getting at, what I wanted to know is, were you just sitting around listening to your dad running his mouth, and then you decided, well, I got the equipment to record that, so let's get with it? Or is this
The way it started was, I'll just do this story in a nutshell.
Yeah, do that.
Dad was super pissed after the election, and he deleted his Facebook because he just couldn't deal with family drama and bullshit.
Bullshit. A lot of bullshit.
I was like, what the fuck? I mean, this was before I knew just how bad Facebook was. Don't get me wrong, I'm not pro Facebook here. I'm just, whatever. But anyway, I was like, what the fuck? My own dad, he ain't going to talk to me on Facebook anymore. And I told Dad, you realize there's a whole other world out there.
He opened Pandora's box, not me.
There's not just your friends list. You can just go find groups and talk to people that are like-minded.
Right.
Dancing.
And the thing is, and it's like what I tell a lot of people seem to get intimidated to go online and use their voice because it's like, look at all this equipment we got. It's like, no. This is stuff I've been doing since I was 10 years old, video and music and all that other stuff. We just had a lot of this stuff. A lot of this stuff has been donated by our wonderful community.
Indeed.
And, that's the one reason why we got out here. But, Dad, really, if you look at the base of Dad's show, he started with just his iPad.
I see names every time I look around me.
Yeah.
Lone Wolf, there's Chris Kloss, Michael James, these, names that just pop out. Diana Mallory, Bequeath of the Gong, and Secret Squirrels. Anyway.
But anyway, no, what I'm getting at is we, I just had a lot of equipment. I had the know-how, so I was able to help Dad. But to be fair, I don't really get to produce Dad's show. Dad does things his way a lot of the time. And
nice way of saying I screw up?
No, it's a nice way of saying, I could offer you a lot of things, but it doesn't work with your workflow.
Hey, enough with the John in the bikini shit.
Yeah, I'm noticing that too in the chat. Come on, y'all, please. You don't want to put me through that, please.
Harm my son like that.
So anyway,
it's a thong. No.
No, let's not go down that road. But yeah, long story short, no, just I've been working with video equipment all my life, pretty much, and I got into music when I was about 14, 15, and I've tried to do a lot of things on my own. And so when it comes to...
Well, that's really the best way, though, isn't it?
It is.
I mean,
it is.
For somebody to show me, for my kids to show me, and, it's great. And I love it because I get to hang out with them. But at the same time, when they're not around and I'm forced to actually sit down and learn this crap, well, then you remember it. It's just that simple,
Yeah.
Yeah, you learn by doing.
Yeah. I mean, I like it that way personally.
Travis has been doing this for a long time.
Yeah. And I'm not saying I'm great. I learn every time I hop on this shit and try it every day.
Well, and it changes all the time, and it's all getting upgraded all the time. It's all different all the time. You go, like I'm a Linux kind of guy, so I left Linux. I left Linux a few years ago and went back to Windows, and then because I was just getting frustrated, I came back to Linux, I don't know, a year or so ago, and I just can't believe how much better it got. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Technology just evolves so much, so fast,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure with your music career, you've seen a lot of that change in just recording music.
Yeah.
So
No, there was a.
Yeah.
This was all reel to reel, and you couldn't afford to go to a recording studio back, when I actually was playing and had some talent and was fast at doing what I'm doing, and I could, have the energy. But I mean, there's no way you couldn't afford to go to a recording studio for less than, in those days it was like $50 or $60 an hour, and that was a fortune.
Yeah.
Especially when you're a musician, you just pretty much take the vow of poverty.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
There it is. Light came on.
Yeah. No.
He's down there on the floor in the
down.
midst of this. My whole my computer in front of me, two screens just went blank, and
Yeah. And
There
something
they are.
happened with Mike.
oh, I'm sorry. All right.
No, did you? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I cut the mic off while you were under the table.
No, Dad was looking at me frantically. Apparently,
Yeah, my screens all went black.
his Mac went off. That's a cool. Yeah, no, but that's also. I mean, between me and my wife, music equipment. We were like we both.
Monty.
What?
Nothing.
Yeah, I know. It's like you chime in every 2 seconds. I get every time you say something, I'm like, "What happened?"
Jeanette
Something
Miller's
broken?
in there asking me if there's no full Monty. No.
No.
Okay.
Anywho, but yeah, I forgot what we were getting at. Anyway, so yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter. It was me. I didn't mean to interrupt the politics. I was just.
No, I'm
No,
glad.
that's what the show's about.
Yes, that's what it's about here. It's we I'm so glad you're here, John. Just because I told John I would love to have him on the show, just because and because we don't always talk politics.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get drifting off into any which way we go, and that's a good thing. Because we need to stay well-rounded. We need to have fun as we go along. And where else are you going to find such fine entertainment as right here? And let me pull the stick out of Donnie's ass
I
again.
I actually have a lot of fun ragging on Republicans. I love it.
Oh, I do. I enjoy it now. It's sport because I've watched what they've done for the last 5 years. So it's become
and I
sport.
wish there was a hunting season, but there's not.
Yeah, no, it's all year, baby. It's open now. And we have to be in the game. And we have an opportunity right here. All right, Easter's, the holidays are over right now. Summer's coming up. Let's get on with the rat killing. The public hearings from January 6th. Let's get after it, because that's what has to come out. When Liz Cheney is talking about they have enough evidence to refer Donald Trump to the Department of Justice for criminal prosecution. Liz Cheney, who used to be somebody in the Republican Party and in my book still is one of the few left with any integrity left, then that's saying something. And who else said
I don't
something?
agree with anything that she believes, but
No.
I do think that she's an honest broker. I think she actually
think she
believes
is.
it, what
Yes.
she thinks.
Yeah, I do. That's exactly what I think. No, she is not. There's nothing that me and Liz Cheney would agree on as far as legislation moving forward and how we move the country and where we're going and what liberties we have. No, none of that would be compatible with me. But
thank God. But thank God for her right now.
yes, yes, for standing up and showing the Republicans what they should be, and what they should be is more concerned about our Constitution, our democracy, and the freedom of people in this country to elect our own leaders. Because have no doubt, that's the target they're after. They don't want your ass to vote. Well, you can give a suggestion,
John.
Well, decide.
Wait a minute here.
Huh.
We can't have those people voting. Those people.
Well, Mitch, it has been discussed highly in the Republican circles that it's not the quantity of the vote that matters. It is the quality of the vote that matters. We want the voters to be well informed and knowledgeable about all the issues that make whatever bullshit story they want to sell. It's about limiting people and certain people not to vote. And never is that more evident than here in Texas. Harris County, really? One drop-off box? You know how big Harris County is? That's Houston. Millions of people, one box. That'll work. That's making sure the people have a right to vote, have a right to voice their
I live
opinion.
in the freaking capital of goddamn Florida.
Thus, the Voting Rights Act was gutted. There's really nothing the federal government can do. They don't have any, because of the Constitution, they have no power to say whether, the basically what the voting, the tearing down the voting means that everything about voting is completely vested within the state.
Yeah.
Period. That's some dangerous precedent, though, John.
Well, it kind of fucks with the e pluribus unum thing.
It kind of fucks with the whole America like I thought it was supposed to be.
Yeah. The whole one for all for one, we stand together and all that kind of shit. Y'all they put it on bumper stickers all the time, Mitch. Come on.
Here's what I like.
They just don't
we should
believe
go
it.
with what the majority of people want, right?
Well,
we should go with the
wait
majority.
A minute.
Well, let me tell you.
I've heard this story before. Somebody said, what is that? When the majority of the people decide what to do. They have a word for that.
Majority of people want safe abortions. Majority of people want universal health care. Majority of people want a normal border policy of a normal country, not like the weird shit that we have. A majority of people do not want to spend $1 trillion a year on military adventurism. The majority of people do not want the ultra wealthy not to pay their share of taxes.
So why can't we get this shit done?
Fucking Republicans, mostly conservatives.
Mostly.
Why.
Mostly, but we've got our own problems within our own house that we have to deal with.
Doubt.
That
no
we
doubt.
have to deal with.
We didn't make this mess.
Well, there's one main conspiracy.
What's that?
And it's just greed. These fucking, and that's the same with I believe this inflation thing that everybody wants to talk about. The right wants to talk about. These just a bunch of greedy assholes. I'm sorry. Inflation. Why is there inflation? Somebody explain the depth of inflation to me, other than people taking advantage of a situation.
Oh, I got it right here. Right here. I knew I had this written down somewhere. Last year, Exxon, 23 billion. Now this is profit, baby. Y'all keep that when I'm reading these numbers. This is profit. 23 billion for Exxon. Shell, 19.5 billion. Chevron, 15.6 billion. BP, British Petroleum, 12.8 billion dollars. And you tell me why your gas prices are up. Please, somebody explain that shit to me.
Right. That's exactly what I'm saying. I only, saying it a little bit plainer.
Yeah. That's exactly what you were saying. It is greed. Greed has become the America. That's what Ronald Reagan brought into this situation, brought into our nation, it's trickle-down economics. If you make it rich, well, that's because you pulled yourself up by the bootstraps. Are you shitting me? I used to work for the government. We throw money around like we're at a stripper club, baby. Are you shitting me? We waste more money in this. Fraud, waste, and abuse in this country is outrageous. Outrageous. And you don't have to look far to see it sometimes, because I don't have to look far to see that. And never mind. No. That's another.
It's not a. It's not a never mind. It's right there, and it's in everybody's face.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not like they're even hiding it like they did, in the 20th century.
Proud of it. I got mine.
They had like syndicates and stuff like that. Now we just do all that shit right out in the open. We threaten people, legally threaten people out in the open. It used to be illegal to do that. You could not come up and say, "I'm going to sue you."
Yeah,
it's not legal to do that. It's a form of assault.
Now it's like shit. Are you shitting me? It just, I don't know. I'm just sitting here thinking, what do we do? What are we going to do to change this? Because I'm referencing my own life in the last week, and how you do look back. And I do remember when I was a teenager, every day in the news it was civil rights marches. It was people in the streets. It was anti-war demonstrations against Vietnam. There was so much going on when I was young. My God, the people were standing up, demanding shit. The EPA was formed. We started cleaning up the air. We started cleaning up the rivers and the land. We started naming parks after everything. Shit, baby, we were on a fucking roll. We need to rekindle that. We need to find that. Whether it's within us or stimulate it within the young. They have the opportunity. We have the opportunity right now. Because we can't let this shit slip away. We have to remember when we were young, what it was like to fight for the shit that we had already lost or that we didn't have yet. That we didn't have. But we gained them, and now we're watching them. The EPA, are you shitting me? Donald ran in there and raped every regulation they could possibly think of. Good for business, baby. Let's grease the wheels of progress. We'll make lots of money. Get away with all of them regulations. That's our air and water, and that's going to come back and haunt us in 15 years, 20 years. To our future generations. Not even that. It's happening now. We have to remember that passion that got us here. That got all that shit. That we passed civil rights. That we passed equal rights. That we approved gay marriage. That we have fought for the rights of every American. And now to sit here and say, well, we're going to see what the Republicans do because fuck, they're going to win in the summer. I mean, in the midterms there, and then they'll probably bring Donnie back. And let's see what happens. These people.
They really do. They want to walk back marriage equality.
Yes.
They want to walk all that back.
It is Roe v. Wade's got to go. Marriage equality's got to go. Gay rights in general has to go. It's an abomination to all whatever holidays we're celebrating right now. It's. I don't know. I just know we need to do better. But we have to be able to work for it. We have to do it. And I'm kind of racking my brain, and Travis knows this here lately because we've been talking about wanting to do something else, wanting to do a better job of what we're trying to do. And so,
crack to kids or something?
Huh?
Selling crack to kids?
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Get me a raincoat, go stand on the corner. Psst, hey.
Right.
I don't know what the answer to that is. I was going to ask the Blue Dots, what do you think we can do? There's, I can sit here. There's places to donate. World Kitchen is one of the big ones. They are doing so much right now. They just got hit by one of their sites in Ukraine. Got hit. There's so many things that we can do to help our society, to help our fellow man.
Killed a World Kitchen, yeah.
Yeah. No, World Kitchen is a good one. It just comes off my head just because. But there's a lot of them.
About Doctors Without Borders, we donate to.
Yes, there are a lot of great organizations that we have to, and I'm not prepared today because, well, we got to get our shit together. But our 2 for Blue is very important because the thing about getting control and saving this country is we do it state by state, district by district. So I have always said, especially if you live in a blue state, if you're in a place where you're represented by Democrats, and there's a good chance you're going to remain that way, and you have money to donate to a political action or a political candidate, then consider somebody running in a red district. Boy, howdy shit, Robin Kincaid's name comes up. She's running for an office there in West Virginia. It's a small office, but small office, you make an impact. And that's where you have to do it in these red states. But whether it's governor races, Senate races, or House races, if there's somebody in a red state that is running on a Democratic ticket and you heard something they said or whatever, think about getting behind that person, make a donation to their campaign to help in that because it's what we need here in Texas. We are so close to turning this state blue. We almost made it in the Senate races when Beto O'Rourke ran against Ted Cruz. We almost made it, but Ted's a slimy little... Anyway. Yeah. So if anybody has an idea, we have the suggestion box out there anytime y'all want to put something in there. Michael James, how are you, my friend?
Hey, John, man, it's so good to see you again.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're back and healthy and kicking and stirring up shit like usual.
Well, I ain't going to be happy with something shit's happening. So might as well kick a can over it, too, and let's get things going. How's things going in your life, bud?
Good
Yeah.
enough. I'll leave it at that.
Good enough.
That's good enough with me. So,
That's good. That's when you know you're happy. Could it be better? Could it be better?
yeah,
Oh,
right.
hell yes.
Yeah.
But in the
I
big
could-
picture, you have to be content.
I could be talking to you from a live aboard dive boat off of Hawaii,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
or anywhere. Australia, whatever. Yeah, it could be better, but for now, this is what I got, and I'm happy with it.
I
It's
am.
been
And that's the one thing that when I look back, there's so many things that I wished I could have done better, or I wished I would have done different.
Yes.
But in the overall big picture,
hey,
except for
for-
except for a few things that'll never be forgiven, you have to live with your life, and be happy with where you're at.
I have that too. I've had such a diverse, crazy life that there are regrets. But John,
Hey.
when I want to kick myself, I can. But all I got to do is look at my kids and go, "You did okay."
There you go. There you go.
You know.
There's
Yeah.
perspective. When you look at your kids. What are you laughing
Now
about,
you tell
Mitch?
me.
I know your kids. Your kids are great. I know your kids. Well, I know them. Not personally.
I got.
I'd love
I gotta
to.
say that I enjoyed the conversation earlier when it was you and Mitch, and no one cross-talking, no one drowning each other out. No, sometimes when you get 5-6 people in here, we all got something to say. And
You've been talking
No,
to
I've-
Travis? Because that's what
No.
Travis was trying to tell me. John, Dad, it's great when you get everybody in there, but the conversation slips and slides every direction. If we want to try to do something, we need one-on-one conversation. He's been trying to get me to do this, and I've been resisting, but because I'm more of a... Huh?
I think it was great.
I-
I think it was awesome. It was a great conversation. I enjoyed listening.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I want to probably credit Mitch and Julie with most of that.
Half of it, and
Yeah.
then you with the other half. Yeah.
Well, no,
That's
I
right.
think you steered a lot, because I think Mitch knew I was going to be struggling today, a little bit,
Yeah.
coming back. So Mitch is a great guy, and Mitch has got some great ideas. Mitch,
Both him and Julie both were.
Yes.
I mean, spot on.
Yeah.
There's a couple times
It's
where I
them,
wanted-
isn't she?
I think
there-
Mitch is in the same position I am. He has a fantastic political advisor.
Yes,
So
that's right.
there
Yeah,
you go.
Julie was.
Come
spot
to
on.
think of it, John, I don't even have to think for myself.
There you
I didn't
go.
want to.
Isn't life grand when we get to that point, Mitch? I don't know. Ask my wife. She'll tell
Why
you what
should I
think.
waste my energy thinking or making difficult decisions? Like,
There was one thing. There
Well
was one
said, my friend. Well said.
There was one thing said during that conversation that bugs me all the time. Mitch brought up, and then Julie answered, "Why hate Asian people? What the hell is that about?" And I've said that to all my Jewish friends. I don't get it. I don't understand the hate. But then I remember, it's so upfront and in your face. The Republican platform's agenda is dumb as down. Get rid of public education and divide and conquer. And if they can use the virus as a means to divide and conquer, all
They
we
will
need
do
now
it.
is a victim. Yeah, all we need is a victim. Let's make it the Asians.
oh,
That's-
and let's not be confused about especially coming from a Jewish perspective. We know why people hate us. It's not a secret. It's not like people are hating on us and we're like, gee, I wonder where the fuck did that come from? We know where it comes from. But we don't understand why people are now targeting other people for the same reason it's almost like we're jealous of the Asians being targeted. Because I totally get it. It's
Well, I understand the
part
thing
of
about
conservative
about
Christianity. It's part of that. It's part of that whole conservative Christian vibe. Hating on Jewish people is cool. Now, the fact that Jesus was himself,
a
if
Jew.
my memory is not mistaken,
Yeah, I don't think
and
it is.
a Jew and a rabbi among the Jews is not lost on us.
But we know.
Yeah, it's all good. We know. We
Yeah,
know the drill.
I don't understand the whole. You know me anyway. I'm not a religious person at all.
It's all about supremacy. It's all about
is.
feeling better, acting like you are better than somebody else. White people have to be white people not because there's such a thing, but because it provides a way to be better than black people.
Yes.
There's no such thing as either.
No.
Nobody is white. Nobody is black.
No.
We're all shades of brown.
That's it.
I still don't understand the hate against Jewish people. I don't get it.
It's baked into Christianity, dude. It's baked into Islam.
I had
Those
to go
are
to
two of the big three right there.
I had to go to Christian school the first 5 years of my life. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get Christianity though, so
Yeah, I have a little trouble with that, especially on Easter.
Yeah.
And people say to me, "Happy Easter, Mr. Goldstein," and I'm like, "Yeah."
Don't you see it in the name?
Easter.
Did you notice anything in the name? Yeah. Take a shot.
Because it's the default religion, just like white is the default skin, and Republican is the default party, and the American flag is the default flag, of course.
Of course. Of
Well,
course.
back to it's all divide and conquer. That is really plain in my eyes to the Republican strategy. Dumb us down, divide and conquer. This, John, we talked about Ronald Reagan and trickle down economics.
Sure.
This has been going on. Toward fascism. Yeah, the move toward fascism is decades.
When you
old
can sell
now.
ignorance for patriotism.
Right.
Yeah, you
Wow.
don't want to stand out
You
as an
could sell
intelligent person. Yeah.
nationalism.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 That's what the right they key on. They sell they sell patriotism and they sell God, baby. That's what the Republicans do. We're God-fearing, red-blooded American bumper sticker sticking, wave flagging, and all that shit. And they sell that. Do they live what they talk? No, they don't. No, they don't.
Matter of fact, they are masters of projection.
They
They're
are.
masters of throwing their shit on other
people.
While they're doing
Let me point out what you're doing while I hide what I'm doing over here. I got a few thank yous to sending out. Catman56 came back in with another donation. Thank you, Keith, and said, then the oil companies pay no taxes. Indeed, we was talking about all the money the oil companies have made in profit. They paying taxes? Baby, they're not paying taxes on that shit. Zero, no income tax. Diana Mallory, bequeather of the gong and Secret Squirrels, came in with a $10 donation. Ain't you gone, girl? I thought you was on vacation. It said, look, it says the blotch is back. What is this? I heard you missed me so much you couldn't do a show all week long. Diana Mallory, you left. It was last Friday. Remember, you was going to go on a nice trip. Now, I hope you had a wonderful time, by the way, while I was down here almost suffering because you was gone and I lost my shit and didn't. How could I have gone on? Answer. You got to understand. JP League came in with a $25 donation and said, I hope everyone had a nice Easter. Go Ukraine. Kick Putin's ass and the orange anus also. Touche, JP. Thank you very much, brother, and amen to that. And Timothy Silva Jr. just came in with a $20 donation and said it is time to defeat the fascist traitors to our nation. The Republican Party must be defeated in November to preserve our democracy and our freedoms. Timothy, I could not have said it more plainer nor more direct. What he just said. This is the time to defeat the fascist traitors. Fascists, when business becomes the number one thing in the Republican Party must be defeated in November to preserve our democracy and our freedoms. It could not be more true. I mean, it sounds so dramatic. When Trump came in, in the midterms, we came back and we threw them bums out, and then we threw his ass out. What? Now you're going to rest on our laurels? No, we can't. We have to motivate, really. We have to motivate as many people as we can. Because I'm sick. I want to shove the evening news up their ass. I say it all the time. I'm expecting CNN to start using a fair and balanced sticker anymore. The Democrats are going to lose in the midterms and the Republicans are going to take over. We're going to do away with January 6th. Kiss my ass. You don't call the election. I mean, you call the election during the election. But you don't determine the outcome. We do. Our voices do. Our vote. We are the people that steer this ship, and that's what we have to remind everybody in this nation. We have our hand on the tiller. If we run this ship up on the rocks, baby, we weren't paying attention. We can't be a bunch of drunk sailors on duty, baby. Somebody's got to steer the ship in the right direction, and we're the people that have to do it. Anyway, was you trying to signal to me that I had to go?
No.
Oh.
No, you can keep going. If you want to.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Y'all fine? Y'all good?
Good enough. Good enough.
John, you with us? John Lawrence. Oh, he's got his mute. There he is. You with us, John?
He's still probably dealing with weather.
Yeah, he might be dealing with weather. You know, I want. I'm so glad me and John had we did. We had a nice conversation. It won't be the last one. He just got out of the hospital. John Lawrence did. When we were talking about health and life and everything, John just went through some serious stuff, and he's just recovering from it now. So how come I appreciate so much people's thoughts for me, but we have Blue Dots in this family. They're facing anguish like you wouldn't believe, and so our hearts go out every day to people that are faced with shit happens.
That's right.
You know, and so I had a great conversation with John. You there, John? No. Anyway, after that conversation, because in that conversation I told him I wanted to use the Blue Dot song that John wrote, and but I wanted to take that line out of there that said talking about the asshole in our house, because we don't have an asshole in our house now. And after that conference, he said, oh, yeah, Travis could just take that line out and cut it in me. Travis could probably blend it real easy, and he could. And then the next thing I know, boom, John just went in and recorded a new song with new verses. And again, mind you, he just got out of the hospital. And
Good job. Good job.
You know, thank you, John Lawrence, for that. You know, y'all can go to Bandcamp. Travis, you tell them how, because I don't know how to say that stuff. Bandcamp?
Yeah, you can find him on Bandcamp.
You can find him on Bandcamp.
On just look up John H. Lawrence, and you can find all of his work. We should have a link in the description box, but someone told me earlier some of our links are broken again, so I got to go down there and figure that out.
I have two of his, and we played the Vote song on here. We're gonna incorporate, because I have free reign with this music. I can play all of this music. And I want to share a lot of it with you, because he is a fantastic artist, and his mind is just it's good for the soul, and it's good for your mind. It makes you think. I like the song "American Dream" because it speaks to, or do you really have the American dream? And I hope you do, and to a certain degree we all do, but the dream isn't realized, whether it be your dream or Martin Luther's dream. We're not there. We're not to the mountaintop. All that kind of stuff that you've heard through the ages of our life. All those great speeches, you know, that we've heard from great people. We're not there yet. And the work isn't done, so we have to keep going.
We've kind of gone backwards. The American dream is harder. It's harder to achieve now than it was in the 50s when my parents were.
Indeed.
You know.
Indeed.
It's much harder.
Did you see that?
Yeah, 1 second.
Oh, okay. Anyway, go by Band. Did you say how to get to Bandcamp?
Yeah, bandcamp.com.
Okay.
Oh, there he is.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Not a word, John. Try it again.
Can you hear me now?
Not yet. One more time. I can hear you. I'm fucking with you.
Okay.
I'm just messing.
Well, thanks. I could use a little bit. I could use a little bit of fucking.
There you go. Ain't it? Anyway. That's for the Blue Room after the show. I told
I was going to talk about one thing. Everybody's been talking about when this all started or how long this has been going on in our country. Well, I'm reading a book right now. It was written by an Anishinaabe woman, and it's called Covered in Darkness. And it's about a trial in Pennsylvania because a white man killed a Seneca Indian. And let me tell you, there is not a shit pile of difference between then and now.
Isn't that a sad statement, John?
It's a very sad statement.
It's a very sad statement.
The point I'm trying to make is this fight between the stupendously wealthy and the rest of us. You know, what does the wealthy call us? The not the
slaves?
struggling.
Workers?
No, there's a word, they use the independent,
Chumps.
the American
Suckers. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
it's the same fucking thing. All the same things were happening then. The wealth was the Quakers. Let me tell you, let's don't get into Quakers because of some of the largest corporations. You were talking about religions earlier.
Hey.
Unbelievable wealth that they own. The Dodge Corporation, and it goes on and on and on. So.
Yeah, it's
anyway.
it's a different world they live in than we do.
They don't. Yeah, they don't live in our world at all.
No, and you can see that. I always like to point out Betsy DeVos because I always hated her anyway. I don't like her brother much. And really, 7, 8 yachts, 9 yachts, something like that. Really,
Yeah.
Really, the opulence, the exaggeration of. And when you find out a lot of these people do not pay taxes, and they moan and groan. If you just go back to what? It was the 60s, maybe. I know they were still paying, 80%? And still living high on the hog, still the wealthiest people in the world. And now they're...
Didn't it start out, my understanding of our tax thing was after World War II, Eisenhower said, fuck you, to Henry Ford and a bunch of these dudes, and they raised the tax up to almost 95% for several years so he could get the freeways built.
Right.
Which he did.
Go figure what you can do when you tax the wealthy.
And then everybody bragged. By the time it got to Reagan was bragging, I'm dropping the tax down to 50%.
Yep. And praised for it. Oh, he walked on water, Reagan, to the wealthy. Right. That's who he was. That's who Reagan came in to save.
And now they're getting away with only paying what?
What?
Nothing really.
Nothing really, but they're supposed to be 20% or 20-something%, and they're trying to raise it, I think, to 28, and they're hollering like it's going to kill them. Are you shitting me? Again, just in the oil and gas, we could go through numbers like this in almost every other industry that is hell bent on making a profit to the point that the working people out here, you can't afford the shit they're selling. And I used to laugh when my parents, when I was young, used to talk about how cheap a house was back then. Nowadays you got to spend $30,000. Are you shitting me? $30,000? Well, fuck, that went out the window a long time ago, didn't it? It's just keeping up with the inflation, with the cost of living itself. Social Security even itself is way behind what people, when what's his name, $1,000 a month guy. I like this guy. Yang. Yeah. Andrew Yang was running for president, and he was talking about everybody should get $1,000 a month, a minimum payment from the government, and for whatever. Anyway. Oh, Republicans, see, there's socialism. Man. Are you shitting me? No. That's a minimum, baby. You want to help people? To think of what that would do, $1,000 a month to me right now, make a hell of a freaking difference. To somebody who's even worse off, it would make even a greater difference. And those above me. There should be a limit. Yeah, some trillionaire, $1,000, fuck him. He's the one that should help and should be willing to help.
I don't think any human being on the planet needs more than $1 billion.
Or what are you going to do with it? So you can die and say you had it?
I'm saying,
that's it.
Elon Musk is just now
he is playing with his money.
$133 billion.
He doesn't. The concept of what money is lost on him. He's gone beyond what that means, money. Because to him, in this deal with Twitter right now, and Twitter taking what they're calling the poison pill thing here, that nobody can own, over 15% share in the stock, I think is what it was. Because and my fear is if Elon Musk did take over Twitter and then just opened it up, as he says, for free speech. Well, you can't yell fire in a theater, and there is. We have found out over time There is a limit to free speech. You cannot incite a mob to do something. Ask, what's his name? Is he still alive? Manson? You know.
No, Charlie Manson died, I think, about a year ago, or 2 years ago.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, 2, 3.
think somebody else. I don't know.
Whatever. Fuck them all.
Yeah. Well,
Trump on January 6th. Fuck, yeah.
we have to, I can't. January 6th, that committee has to come out with public hearings. They need to start having the rat killing. We need to have a rat killing. Because we have rats we have to get rid of. And if we can't, this is the part that bothers me. If we have a reputable congresswoman saying that they have evidence that the president committed crimes to the level that criminal charges should be made, then I want to see that evidence. But why are we hesitant?
And she's being obstructed by the FBI to get her hands on
that. Yes,
so.
This is not stuff that's handed. This is stuff that has been handed over by either subpoena or through congressional avenues, I guess.
I hate to be this guy, John.
Be that guy. Go ahead. Be the guy.
I hate being this guy. We had Trump on 10 counts of obstruction of justice and poof.
It's in the Mueller report. 10 counts.
10 counts. Dead to rights. Not a scratch on the dude.
We didn't do anything.
I mean, no indictment, no nothing. I don't see anything changing. I'm sorry, man.
No. Here's the bad part, Mitch. I agree with you.
Hey, Mitch,
Yeah.
Mitch ain't there.
Huh? Oh, you're not muted. What'd you say?
I said that was, you said Mitch, it's Michael.
It was me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Michael.
Doesn't matter. Shit. Like I said, I hate being that guy, but god damn it.
No, you're right. I don't think, with even her saying that, and with all the evidence that we've seen ourselves, I know, or I have this feeling that they're hesitant because of the divide in this country, and if you try to make charges against Trump, then that is going to incite the right. Well, are you going to let that be the deterrent to democracy?
And they're not incredibly already insistent on pick a topic.
Yeah.
You can't piss them off anymore. Is what I'm trying to say. They're already
deep into the conspiracy rat holes. They're not rabbit holes. They're rat holes, and they were dug by rats, and that's who they're following. For some for profit, some for hate. I don't know. None of them are for the love of country. They'll put that on a bumper sticker, Republican for the country. Yeah, God and country. No, they don't mean it. It's the right thing to say to be accepted into your fellow redneck society here. You got to have your redneck flag there, a little bumper sticker that says I believe in God or something. I don't know.
This is where I say it's too far gone already, John. It's already, we're so much worse off than we were in the 50s.
We are. We are, Michael, but we're the only ones that can do anything about it.
We are the last holdouts, John.
We are.
This group right here, there's pockets of resistance, and we're talking about it, and we're making sure that people get out to vote, and we have beautiful people like Aaron and Bob Kay going out to try to run and make changes themselves. We have holdouts, but the system itself, and I'll use Cory Booker, senator in New Jersey.
Right.
You see anything go across his desk that has anything to do with the pharmaceutical company, and he votes in their favor because they're stationed in
New
the
Jersey
state that he represents.
Yep.
It's not just Democrats.
I told you there is, and Cory Booker among the Democrats is a highly respected Democrat.
Right.
But we have to clean our own house. Right. We're passing the gun control. I don't think every Democrat is on board with it. There's still holdouts. Well, I don't like this little part right here. Fuck your little part. I don't care about your little part.
And that speaks to It speaks to them not representing the nation. It speaks to them representing their own best interest or their check from the lobbyists or whoever. You know,
it's to protect their own position and power, to maintain their incumbency. They want to be they want to stay. Yep. They don't want to leave once you get in there. It's hard to get a congressman out. They'll stay there forever. Term limits is not a bad idea, baby. Go ahead.
And then when they do get out, they turn into a lobbyist themselves.
Yes.
They become more.
Yes, they go right on over to K Street and start delving out money. They know the ropes, baby. They know how to get the ins and outs going. It is a system almost, when you back up and look at the whole damn thing, it's a rat's nest, and we're the ones that's getting screwed over it.
Remember John Boehner being up on ethics charges because he was passing out checks, money, on the floor as a vote was happening on tobacco issues. He's handing out checks from the tobacco industry to vote no on a certain bill that would curb their income a little bit.
Surely you're not suggesting that money would influence a congressman to vote one way or another, would you?
During the vote on the floor. And the only thing that happened was he was taken off of a committee. He didn't, this is how our country is run.
The outrages would go on forever. We do not hold Congress. They don't hold themselves accountable. The laws in Congress, the laws don't apply to them. No. And that's the problem. There should be nobody above the law. Isn't that what they tell us? We have to take what they tell us to heart. It's up to us to enforce it. It's up to us. So many times people have told me, "Well, what could our voice do, John?" We're the little people in life. Really? The only time major change in this country has happened is when the little people spoke up. It's when it's when civil rights was passed. It was when voting rights were passed. It was when all of them, name them, women's suffrage,
the drought,
the war. Things change when we speak out. It's when we become complacent. It's when we lose our voice or our desire to use it. That's when things start, because they see, baby. Hell, you're distracted with life. You're not going to pay attention while we steal billions and billions and billions of dollars from the system and then point to Russia and talk about oligarchs. I don't think we don't have a system in this country that keeps the wealthy wealthy. We do. We don't call them oligarchs. They earn their, it's capitalism. That's what we call it. Yeah, that's the ticket.
We call them employers.
Yeah, employers. Yeah, a lot of people call them slave owners.
Yeah.
And that could be.
They have the money. They're the ones providing jobs.
Right. Yeah, the job creators. They're the ones that save your life. No, it used to be in the old days where even the CEO of a company only made so much more than the guy down on the floor. It was a hefty amount more, but there was a percentage wise. Now, no, screw you. Get your own, buddy. We'll pay you enough to. And by the way, if you need assistance, go on down to the county. I think they can give you a card or something where you can get you some soup.
Right.
That's the attitude that is taken, and so does your voice matter? Yes, it is massively important. Your voice and your vote, combined with everybody else, is the power, is the greatest power a democracy can have. It is indeed what democracy is based upon. But if we don't participate in that, if we don't all get on board and remind ourselves, like I say, you don't have to have a daily prayer. It's not something you have to get out and just get out in the front yard and start screaming. No. But it's something you have to keep in your mind and keep in your heart. That if we want a better future, if we want that for our kids and their kids and the future generations, like generations before us have fought for us, then we have to be in the fight. And the only time that works is when the little voices get involved, because the big voices are working all the time, baby. They're the one delving out the money. It's only when our voices outweigh their money is when major change happens.
That's right.
And we can do that shit. Anyway, we went over tonight. I want to thank everybody. Oh, wait, before we go, got another thank you to Tim Lowry came in with $5 and said, talk about yelling fire in a crowded theater. Remember how many times Donnie has yelled, especially on Twitter. That's why he's not there anymore, because he was yelling fire a whole lot. And with as many fire, he would incite exactly what we're afraid of what happening. And it would be a whole lot worse. So yeah, I don't want to ever see his ass. I think he ought to go back to Mother Russia over there and live with Pootie. I think that a lot of them should. Anyway, I want to thank everybody tonight. I want to thank Mitch and Julie for coming in earlier this evening. What a wonderful conversation. Thank you very much for that. We appreciate y'all so much. And Mitch is one of them people he's doing shit in the background, baby. Anyway, thank you for coming in. Michael, thank you for coming in, brother. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, John.
You bet. Enjoyed it. And John Lawrence. Brothers, thank you for being here so much. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed our conversation so much. Now, like I told, can you hear me? Are you there? Uh-oh. We might have lost Mark again. I mean, Jesus, John. I got Mark Perkins on my mind again. Anyway, I think we lost John. But John, I want to thank you, and if you can hear me still, don't forget after the show, go into over there on the left-hand side of Discord over there where it says voice rooms. Pick the room everybody's going into. Hit the enter thing in there and come join the conversation. Everybody else on YouTube, on Facebook, thank you so much. On Twitter, on TikTok. Shit, I'm on TikTok. Are you shitting me? Hell yes. Teenagers do it. Shit, I can do that. Catman56 just came in with another $2 donation and said, we have to fight the voter suppression. We do indeed. But be prepared for it if we don't get it turned around, baby. Whatever hurdle they put in your way, be prepared to jump it, because they're trying to stop you from voting. That's exactly what the Republicans are trying to do. Anyway, mañana's Monday. Monday sucks, so we'll be back here Tuesday for another Blue Dot family meeting, so please come by and join us. I always tell y'all, try to put a smile on your face. It's the best thing you can do for your heart, for your life, for your friends, for everybody. Better than that is to try to put a smile on somebody else's face. So if you can do that, kudos to you. I love you all for being such good family to me and my family. I indeed missed you for a week, and I missed this conversation that we have. And anyway, it's all mushy kind of way to say I love y'all for being a part of this. And let's kick ass, baby. That's all I can say. Michael, say good night, buddy. Good night.
Good night, brother.
I love y'all. Y'all take care of yourself, and we'll see you again.